48. Mac McAnally is with us in the studio this morning, and we've never done this before. We've actually had a live Friday song done. And we thought, you know what, today might be pretty cool to do that, so Mac's got one for us.
Well, it's a cultural thing. We had this rule in my we had a lot of unusual rules in high school in Mississippi, but we had this one where you got out of school with an excused absence to go to a funeral, any funeral. Mm-hmm. And so as a kid, I was not necessarily a morbid kid, but I was all for any reason to get out of school.
So a lot of people started dying.
No, nobody died. They didn't cooperate. Not enough people died, but I sort of abused the rule and began to go to every funeral for like a 75-mile radius around my hometown. So I knew all the funeral directors by name. I helped load in the flowers, take out the flowers. But Southern funerals are sort of quirky. I mean, we're funny people about the process of death. For some reason or other, we cook when people die in the South. That's what people fry chicken immediately, put rolls in the oven. That's what, you cook.
See, I'm Irish, we drink.
Yeah, I grew up in a dry county. There's no legal alcohol sales. It's illegal to dance still in my hometown in Mississippi. It's like Footloose, you know.
Yeah.
We have to go across the state line to have the prom. I'm from a small place. One traffic light. They took the traffic light away. We don't even have that anymore. 900 people. So I wrote. I guess my quirky experience of going to funerals made me write this little song. You know, funerals are generally sad, but I'm in the Coral Reefer Band, so we sort of make everything happy. So I wrote a happy song about funerals. That's
all right.
Which you're probably going to regret asking me to play.
I don't think so.
Half, you know, all right. And if you want any help with the percussion, it's like.
All right.
Oh yeah. We're having a funeral. Somebody died. We're having a funeral. Come out and help us cry. And don't he look natural? Considering the way he went, they picked him up in 10 pieces.
Oh man.
It didn't cost his family a cent to break out the caskets, to send us some flowers. Everybody be saying, sure glad this funeral ain't ours. We're having a funeral. Somebody died. We're having a funeral. Shibop, shibop, shibop. Come out and help us cry. We shall come rejoicing, ringing in the sheet.
You know, I want that song at my funeral.
Yeah.
All right.
We're having a funeral.
Mac McAnally's with us, and you got a show tonight. You're going to be over at Green Valley Ranch.
Green Valley Ranch.
Now tonight it's just you, right? You're going to get up there and.
It is me and me only. I've got, you know, I've been blessed enough to write some songs that were hits for other folks, and I've written maybe 20 or so Jimmy songs along the way. So it's kind of a, you know, it's just kind of a little mini biography of a guy you don't really have any reason to know.
So give us maybe 5 songs in your set list.
Well, you know, I do sort of a medley of country hits that I've written for other people. The first, Old Flame for Alabama, and 2 Dozen Roses for Shenandoah, and lots of Sawyer Brown. I had Cafe on the Corner, and Thank God for You, and This Time for those guys. I guess, and then Kenny Chesney and I just had a #1 together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Down the road.
So it seems like that would be a good one to play. I don't know. It's I don't have the best show business sense, but that seems reasonable.
Do you do a lot of these shows where it's just you?
Yeah, and I enjoy it. You know,
Yeah.
I sort of tell the stories of how the songs came about, and because I'm a nervous, bashful kid by nature, and that's sort of the only way I can do it. But I do enjoy that process, and it's an interaction with the crowd. It's sort of what brought Jimmy and I together in the beginning, is because he started that same way. He grew up he was born in Mississippi and was a storyteller and put his songs in story form, and he wrote me a letter when I first started and said, we're the same thing, and we're going to be friends, and I'm going to record your songs, and we're going to write songs together. And you guys have been in our business long enough to know that people don't generally mean what they say, but Jimmy Buffett does, and I'm here as a walking testimony of that.
That's very cool.
Jimmy Buffett wrote you a love note.
a little songwriter, singer-songwriter love note from 1977.
Let's talk about Down the Road. Is this a song you wrote? The one
It
you
is. Down the Road is a song I wrote, and it's kind of a sweet story. I was in 1987, Christmas Eve morning. I was assembling some of those no assembly required things that sometimes dads address on Christmas Eve, and had to go out and find some D batteries at 3 o'clock in the morning in Sheffield, Alabama. It's not something I recommend even in a scavenger hunt.
Right.
But finished my work at about 3 in the morning, and it was a couple of hours before my daughters were going to get up and look under the tree, and I just sat down on the porch and wrote this little song about the good things that dads feel for their kids, and how they sort of embody all your hopes and dreams. And then I started thinking about how I was that for my family, and you kind of see the family going forward and backward, and I wrote that song. It made me feel really good, and didn't think anything about it being a hit song or
And what year was that?
1987,
22
years ago almost, yeah.
That is nuts.
And you just put it away. It's and 22 years later, you pulled it out and said, "Hey, Kenny, what do you say we do this song?"
You know what? I didn't pitch it to Kenny at all. All that I really did with my business savvy is answer my cell phone, and I don't always do that. But the cell phone rang, and it was Kenny, and he said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "I'm not doing anything tomorrow." And he said, "You want to work?" I said, "Sure. What are we doing?" He said, "We're going to cut one of your songs. I don't care which one." And he's always been a fan of what I do, and to be honest, what I do is a little bit different than most of the Nashville songwriter guys who are really good. They go to work every day with a blank pad and they try to write songs because Kenny Chesney's cutting or because George Strait's about to cut. It's a business endeavor, and that's not really what I do so much.
People call you.
Well, Kenny called me anyway.
That's pretty cool.
And we literally spent an hour and a half in the studio, shook hands, and he said, "What song you want to do?" And I said, "I don't care." And his producer, Buddy Cannon, said, "Boy, I always like Down the Road." I said, "Okay." And Kenny said, "Yeah, you sing the last verse." And there was no rocket science to it at all. There's nothing on the record except 2 acoustic guitars and a guy hitting a wooden box. There's no bass, there's no drums. Kenny sang harmony over me, and I sang harmony over him. And an hour and a half later, we went and had lunch, and that was it. I remember driving away from the studio thinking, that's really pretty good. If he hadn't had me sing on it, it might have been a single.
A #1 single, yeah.
It turned out to be a #1 single, even with me on it, which is a testimony to how big of a star Kenny is, that he can drag me up the charts like an ankle weight.
Let's play it right now. It's that song that took a whole hour and a half to do. Mac McAnally's with us here on New Country 95.5 KWNR.